Yes, thank you. Well, my name's Jose. I'm an undergrad here at UNM. I'm majoring in economics with minors in both sustainability and Native American studies. And I'm from the Public Interest Research Group, PIRG, a nonprofit, nonpartisan student-led organization. We work on local, state, and national issues such as sustainability, hunger and homelessness, and voter registration and mobilization. We are very excited to provide graduate and professional students with nonpartisan info on student governmental elections. So like you guys mentioned in the council chair, the rules are going to be 2 minutes for opening, 1 minute, 1 minute questions, 30 seconds for rebuttal. Elizabeth has a 30-second mark, and then another 2 minutes for closing. All right, the orders are going to be determined randomly, and I would just like to note that Abul Hassan's not going to be here for this council chair debate. And the first person going in order today would be Shannon Crowley.
Hello everyone. I know we have a really busy meeting today, but I just want to say hi and maybe pump up the energy a little bit. We're always kind of a little bit dead at the beginning of the meeting. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited about the turnout for the candidates. I think that's a positive thing for the organization as a whole, regardless of how the outcome turns out. So why am I here? Well, it all started really at the first meeting that I came to in August. I was really interested as to what GPSA was about. I'm an out-of-state student, so all this was totally new to me, and I knew from the get-go that I wanted to be more involved. So what that meant was that I ran for the election within my department. I'm the first-year representative for the law school, and I've been here at the meetings, very excited to be here. But I wanted to be more involved, and since I've been to the meetings are what I know. So that's what I'm interested in running for council chair. My two goals, really to continue on what Megan has done, is to be efficient in the meetings and to communicate with all the members. But beyond that, I'm going to be emailing all of you to ask you for what you want out of a GPSA council chair. And that's all I have to say today.
All right, second person going up in the order would be Sarah Cochran.
Okay, hi guys. I'm also a first-year law student. Me and Shannon go to school together. I am an alternate rep for GPSA. I first actually got involved with GPSA when I was an undergrad. I was also in New Mexico student PIRG, and I was really involved with sustainability on campus as well as youth voting. I continued my drive to get youth voting at the law school. We did a voter registration drive with the help of other students. My main goals for GPSA actually are to keep people involved, because I believe that GPSA has a stronger voice with the more graduate students and the more departments that are represented. And just seeing the list of the departments that aren't involved makes me sad. So I would really like to see more people get involved. Also, I'd like it to be more accessible. I'd like students to know what we as GPSA give to them and funding options, as well as just what we're doing on council and the important motions and the important resolutions for tuition and all of that we do. As council chair, I'd like to balance the goal of having everyone have a voice and running efficient meetings, because I know your time is very important, and this meeting shows how incredibly jam-packed things can get sometimes. So I'm going to stop talking and look forward to the questions.
Third person in the order would be Victor.
Good morning, counselors. I'm Victor Lopez, and I just first wanted to thank you all for your important work improving this organization and the lives of graduate students. I'm here today because I want to join you as a leader and facilitator to execute this great work. I've been a graduate student at Anderson for 18 months, and after receiving a GRD grant this last fall, I joined the lobby committee up in Santa Fe to fight for retaining our GRD funding from the state legislature. This really inspired me to get more engaged with GPSA, and I definitely have a vision for GPSA's role and influence both on campus as well as in the state of New Mexico. My goals are to run efficient meetings, to represent the council effectively, and to enhance the involvement of all graduate students and student associations who are not here today. Most of you have gotten a chance to speak with me and glance over some of my work history and the email that I sent out, and I've also gotten to talk to some of you guys. I believe that this kind of points to my strengths and capacity to get things done. This position offers me the ability to practice and expand upon my unique skill set. In the past year, I've co-founded a nonprofit organization, and as president of the board, I've experienced using Robert's Rules and complying with the Open Meetings Act. In 2009, I worked as a professional student organizer for Florida PIRG, and I worked to build a strong student advocacy organization with student government leaders at the University of Florida. Together, we power mapped, educated, and swayed countless administrators as we worked to establish our existence on campus as a chapter. And I will use and further build upon these organizing skills to expand involvement in GPSA. Thank you.
All right, and then last in the order be Megan.
Hi, thank you. I'm Megan. I'm one of the representatives from Anderson this year. I love that everyone seems to have, it's one of the reasons I like council, is because we have these diverse people with different interests, different background, and we seem to have a consensus about what we need to accomplish. So I'm committed to building a stronger council through greater investment in related organizations as well. I think that council needs to be a very respected presence on campus affairs, and we need to make it kind of an indispensable resource, not only for students, but also for other UNM representative bodies. I think collaboration with them, while increasing our own base of representation, is an important factor next year, because we are really going to need to have some people involved and come together with a consensus. As far as council goes, I think running the meetings, Megan has done such an amazing job. I don't think we could improve upon that. I would just like to continue to lead the meetings with grace, such as Megan. And that's actually about it. Thank you.
All right, we're going to move it on to questions. Each one of the candidates will have an opportunity to go first after the rebuttal. So first would be Shannon. How do you intend on making the council more accessible to everyone?
Okay, I intend to make the council more accessible by first reaching out to the departments that don't have a continual representative at the meetings and find out why maybe that department has an inner organization and tap into that. And also just communication, you know, if we get a lot of press, the logo, making sure that things are positive and just open communication. That's really what I would do.
Sorry. My main thing would be trying to get, once again, all of the departments that aren't involved right now. Also, just kind of making sure that we have a basic understanding of what's been done in council. We should have that out for the departments to see, so that way they can really get excited about being involved. I think that it's really important for them to know the great work that you guys are doing in order to, you know, really make them want to get up at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. But just like Shannon said, keeping the lines of communication open and just working with them, finding ways that we can get people to come in and letting them know what we're doing.
Okay, my turn. I think this is important. I really agree with you, Sarah, about communicating what council accomplishes on a month-to-month basis, week in and week out. You guys are doing some great work. So I plan to, if elected, spend the summer meeting with student leaders at all student associations who aren't currently represented today, and doing this kind of education and outreach and really inspiring and looking for more student leaders who can get involved with the council.
I've actually met with some of the groups, and I've been talking to people that I know around campus. I do a lot on campus. And it's interesting to get feedback, like saying, well, we're only a small organization. But when they see the list and they see that they may be a small part, but as far as a greater representation, how they can affect within that part, just sending one person. I've had two of my friends actually, or people I talked to, signed up They had no idea when I read them, the assessments from their own departments that were sent into the President Schmidley, what kind of cuts they were affording for their departments, and it really forced them to go ahead and sign up for GPSA. I think information like this is important to get out to students, even just walking around campus, and I think we all can help in that process.
Wonderful. Do we have any rebuttals?
Good job.
All right, then. The next question is going to be first answered by Sarah. What do you see as the largest obstacle facing the council in the coming year? And how do you intend on addressing or fixing the issue?
Well, one of the biggest obstacles I've seen is having a cohesive voice as the students, and working with ASUNM is a big deal. I think that by working with them, we really come together as a student voice, and our voice is much stronger, and it's harder for the administration to ignore that, we want them to continue fighting these tuition increases. We want to keep getting funds for our student organization and that sort of thing. I do think it is important that when the ideas split, that the graduate students really stand on their own. And like I said, we get all the departments involved, so we have a cohesive voice saying, this is what graduate students want, this is what is important to us.
I really admire the work that you guys have done on the Constitution. I think that's probably one of the biggest things that has been happening and is going to continue to happen with this body. And I also believe that bringing more funding into the organization is really important. And so I would hope that we have really strong lobby committees up in Santa Fe, getting the state legislator to understand the value that having graduate students have research dollars and dollars for service projects brings to the state of New Mexico. It's like a really good value on a research and development department of a corporation. It's students have the energy and the passion to get things done, and if we can get state investment in what we do, then I mean, if we can communicate that to the state, I guess, then we can really get a strong investment in what we do.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think with some of the cuts that are going to happen right now that we're dealing with, fee raises, tuition increases, I think next year's students are going to face some incredible pressures, additional financial pressures as well, in being able to be involved in organizational things that allow them to do things that enhance their career after they leave here, enhance their degree now. What I really do like is how the new Constitution, as I'm reading over some of the processes, I do think that we need to ensure financing and granting authority is structured to have a consistent review process, is more centralized, and allows access. The access to funds follows kind of a more rational, intuitive process. I also like the fact that we have a new website going up, which, as far as the face of GPSA, will add to our accessibility to students.
Well, I think the biggest obstacle will be consistency in the way that we vote in meetings. All of us have hinted at that finances are going to be an issue in the upcoming year. So to bring a level of fairness between all groups that come forward, and to try to be consistent with, if we don't like a line item, then don't like the line item on the next person. So, be fair. And to overcome that, I think that we need a more transparent budgetary process.
All right, wonderful. Any rebuttals?